Depending on the situation, love grows on God's vegetation. It gives us strength to go through what we're facing. It's our guide and light through the darkest places. It teaches us to see it seems. No matter what's going on, we have to believe and keep the faith. Trouble comes all during night and day, but joy comes in the morning. So don't you worry, God is love. It's so good to know He's our joy, life, healer, provider, protector, waymaker. He fills us up until we overflow. It's so wonderful to know He's in control. Yeah, He's in control. God comes to the rescue when things are falling apart. He'll be there to help you because He cares. He wants what's best for you in every matter of your life. He will see you through. So if you're ever feeling lonely, know He's there for you. If you ever lost a love, He will comfort you. He will pick you up when you are down. Open your eyes, see what's in front of you. The world created all these factions to blind you from the truth. God's hand is holding you. It's so good to know He's our joy, life, healer, provider, protector, waymaker. He fills us up until we overflow. It's so wonderful to know He's in control. God is love. Secret space, turn from the world way. Feeling lost, you can be found today. Turn back to Him and He'll turn back to you. Real message, I pray that it's getting through. I know all this can be a big change for you. The world God created was simple. The enemy made everything complicated. Drain your soul, fill it with hate, hoping you never escape His hand. Not part of God's plan. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard what's in store for you. Stay in the fight, make it through. God loves you, He's calling you. It's so good to know He's our joy, life, healer, provider, protector, waymaker. He fills us up until we overflow. It's so wonderful to know He's in control. God is love.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It is so wonderful to know that in spite of all that we are going through, our Heavenly Father is still in control because Yah is love. And that joint right there came from none other than California native Wake Up and Tell the Truth, a fellow targeted individual going through these end day persecutions, just like many of us. Of course, if you're watching this video, you know you're back on another journey to truth in life, and this is the Sabbath day edition. And I didn't want to hold you guys up long, because I know your mornings are the busiest part of your day, but wanted to express some things on my mind because we are truly in tumultuous times, and I believe we can all concur on that. We're living in times like never before. Haven't been this bad since the days of Noah. Human trafficking at an all-time high, non-consensual, illegal human experimentations, uh, counterintelligence programs, and much more sinister things, the transhumanizing of society. And this is no conspiracy, these are facts. And it's not isolated events, these are um, widespread circumstances. And meanwhile, those of us who are trying to hold on to our humanity and dignity of life are experiencing um, the most extreme persecutions, to say the least. I see we are starting to have visitors come into the live stream. It says, "How's it going, brother?" JJ, the disciples, man, hey, brother, I am woke. I got my life. I got my health, strength. The day has started. So I'm not going to complain. Still going through as a soldier in this war, and we are at war. You know what I mean? People want to mitigate it. They want to diminish the true capacity of the situation, but I just tell it like it is. We're at war. It's not your conventional war. There's no army tanks as of yet, or BDU dressed militia groups marching down the streets. However, the casualties are real, very real. And people are being attacked, lives are being destroyed. In one case, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the guy Callmenappy YouTube channel. That brother was locked up from allegedly uh, terroristic terroristic threatenings, meaning that he verbally exercised his disdain or whatever that may entail. It's a verbal threat, and this brother is locked up. On the other hand, we have Zimmerman. I believe his name's George Zimmerman, who's who was charged with stalking, harassing, um, and murdering an innocent 13-year-old child, a kid. He's acquitted with servant's pay, part of the Gangstalking private security apparatus, and they look out for their own. That's why I say there's not going to be justice given to us by this wicked, corrupt system. Anytime that someone physically commits an act of terrorism and they're acquitted, and the page turns, and someone who's considered a whistleblower, a distance, um, you know, uh, unconformist to this new world order, is locked up based on words. That's that's troubling. It's mind-boggling, and I believe that we should take this into consideration. We should take it as a wake-up call and see it for what it really truly is. They are making a statement, and that statement pretty much is, um, you know, he that has the golden rule, basically the wicked golden rule. I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of the wicked golden rule, but the wicked golden rule says, "He that has the gold makes the rules." They feel as if they have the power, they have the wealth, they have the control, and what they say goes. But I am here to tell you guys that the Most High is still in control in spite of what we're going through. And that brother Nappy, in my regards, showed great restraint out there on the streets of California, protesting all by himself. Watched some of his videos. He had invested into what do you call that thing? One of those loudspeakers. Bullhorn is, I believe, the technical term for it. And he had his protest signs, and he was calling awareness to this criminal cartel operation that is working underneath the disguise of national security and community safety protocols. And this brother was crying out for help for weeks and for months, and got no response, got no help, because it's the system that is sworn to protect and serve that is the adversary in this particular situation. And I can only imagine, someone being provoked over and over and over again and getting no sort of resistance would come to a point to say, hey, look, maybe if I use verbal aggression as a last resort of diplomacy and peaceful defense, maybe they'll get the point and quit bothering me. Now, that is still a peaceful resolve. If I'm telling you, hey, I'm going to kick your tail if you don't leave me alone, I'm still being diplomatic and peaceful, because someone who's just going to do it, a violent person, they're not going to make you hear them. They don't want you to hear them. They want you to feel them, and you're going to feel their pain as they're, letting it loose. That's just what that is. Let me get to this comment. It says, I used to be mad on this channel about 2 years ago. I haven't been on this channel for a long time, but heard the news about him on Renata's channel. Yeah. Not sure who Renata is, but I'm glad that TIs are starting to unite and literally show some form of support, because we need to support one another. We are all we got. The system isn't designed to protect and serve us. You know what I mean? When it says we the people, in order to create a more perfect union, it wasn't talking about us, those who are rejected from the society, those who are kept out of the experience of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So we must come together in unity and show the strength that we are a force to be reckoned with. And I'm urging all targeted individuals to take to every platform possible, and create support for this brother. We want to flood the internet with support, and we want it to be heard that this indignation will not go unchallenged. We will do whatever it takes in order to support our brother. And there's many ways to peaceably protest. You can do it virtually online. And for those of you who are in the California area, reach out to that brother's family. And if he have any sort of friends or constituents, we want to be physically there for him. We're not going to solicit or exploit this for profitable gains. That It's what perps do. We're at war, and it's not his battle, it is our war. And I'm hoping you guys understand that it's no individual battles in war. It's us versus them. It's a system trying to destroy us, whether that be through character assassination, lying, slanders, rumors, whatever the case may be. They've even gone as far as attempting to turn my family against me or putting me in a compromising situation where I have to play dumb when certain family members call on behalf of agencies in order to protect them. Because as tough as it is, even though I know I'm being thrown underneath the bus, I don't want to see my family members get crushed. You know, some of us are built to withstand the pressure, and those are the ones that the Most High have designed to be on the front line. We must look out for others and not um, be selfish, always considering self and no one else. So I've thrown myself underneath the bus and made myself look bad plenty of times just to keep a family member from suffering the repercussions of these sick counterintelligence agencies. I see we have Osiris out there. Man, brother, welcome and thank you for showing your love and your support. Happy Sabbath to you, Grand Rising. Yes, indeed, man. I'm at work right now. I'm getting ready to get back to the cash. Of course, I hate the fact that I'm having to work on Sabbath days now. Um, in this wicked system, I was reading a scripture um, a few months ago, and the Most High just showed me, like, in this cursed system, in this new Babylon, it says when we go into slavery, we're going to desire to celebrate our Sabbaths and our new moons and will not be able to because of the oppressor. And this is just, I mean, we're living out scriptures. I said, I feel like I'm living the life of Christ, man. You know, let me see what my brother is saying. He says, thank you. Oh, man, you're welcome. Thank you, brother, for showing up. Yeah. It's just, we're living in some times, man. Osiris, um, JJ, guys, we're living in some very, very tough times, very challenging. Um, yeah, it's a slave system. The slave system designed to exploit human trafficking, basically human resource assets. When you understand business and how it works, you have assets and you have liabilities, and they think of us as human resource assets. And when you become a liability, then they see you as dispensable and they will dispose of you. Now, human trafficking can take place in many different ways. In this Gangstalking program, there's many women whose lives are being destroyed, social support are being destroyed, and they find themselves, being forced out to the streets. I don't judge anyone. If I see, people in compromised position, I ask, what's the story behind that? Now, that is probably the more common form of human trafficking that they want us to think of when we say the word human trafficking. But there's many ways that human trafficking can be presented, as, which is just simply another entity making profitable gains off another person's body uh, or property or intellectual expression, and to that person's harm. And so here in the age of technology, We have Silicon Valley, neurotech industries, uh, you know, big pharma, weapons testings, heck, even these low life blue collar jobs that are going to the FISA court and making bids on our names in order to exploit us. What do I mean? The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court of Appeals have a list of hundreds of thousands, if not millions. There's no official account of how many of our names are on that list, but we do know at the last count it was well over a few hundred thousand. So I would assume that was 2012. We can safely say it's in the millions at this point. Once your name is thrown on there, according to their weird, twisted interpretation of the National Defense Authorization Act and the legislation HR 2048 and Obama's Brain Initiative executive order, they believe that they have the right to place contract bids on each person. So what will happen is a private security firm, which was concocted post 9/11 by the CIA. These are facts. It's all planned, all plotted. You have the Third Reich DHS, but not to get off kilter. What happens is the associated autonomous sectors of the government are limited by constitutional legislations as to what they can and cannot do. However, constitutional crimes can only be committed by governmental organizations and officials. How do you create a loophole? Well, you subcontract that out. So these private security firms that popped up post 9/11, which are business corporations, which work in secrecy because they have clearances, whether it be confidential, secrecy, whatever level of clearance that they have, they're able to work black operations, and they go to the FISA court and they take a bid on our names based on region, based on whatever it is. And they say, oh, yeah, this would be profitable for us. And they're allotted a certain amount of the national defense domestic budget in order to do the things that we are experiencing. Community watch organizations and corporate security institutes such as InfoGuards are also involved. You have TAT, threat, force teams that get involved. You also have big pharma, like I said before, exploiting the fact that once a person's name is thrown on this list, they can be non-consensually tested on, reducing us to the life of rhesus monkeys and lab rats. And that's pretty much what they have done, is dehumanize us. But no one can take away my human dignity. You know what I mean? I understand that the majority of the people doing this are narcissistic, demonic psychopaths lacking human emotions. What the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 tells us is they will not have natural affections, meaning human emotions. They will not be empathetic. They will be narcissistic. And I understand that's what we're dealing with, is transhumanized non-humans, organic portals that are just carrying out, wicked acts with no regard, no remorse. However, they cannot take my dignity away. Like Nappy and my brother Osiris and my brother JJ, I will fight to the bitter end to let it be known that by all means, they may not like it, boy MT, but they will definitely respect me. And that's just what that is. Let me get to some of these comments. Yep, there it go. My boy, he's on it. Telling you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. And you said my entire family is against me. Absolutely, man. Look, I've had family members call me. As soon as I pick up the phone, they'll mispronunciate my name or say something crazy that would let me know that okay, this is the directed conversation or sensitization. Their masonic psychological warfare tactic to kind of mentally disturb the targeted individual because I would say at least 50% of the program is psychological warfare. Um, you know, and you do have psychologists, sociologists, these sick psychos, because having a degree in a particular field don't mean that a person is intellectual and emotionally balanced. You know what I mean? These psycho narcos um, love the fields of psychology, how to mentally manipulate and control someone. MK Ultra, you just go look up the MK Ultra Monarch experiments. Um, those scientists had a lot of information and was very astute in their studies performing lobotomies, brain transplant on babies, etc. And that continued here in America under Operation Paperclip. They had a lot of knowledge on how the brain functions, works, the thought process, and social habits of humanity, and they used it and still is using it as a weapon against the people. So that means nothing. The fact that someone has a PhD in the field of psychology or sociology or anthropology or uh, neurology, it means absolutely nothing. I'm looking at the results of it, and what I'm looking at is a Hitler Nazi style um, attack secretly being carried out against unsuspecting men, women, and children here in America and, of course, across the world. But I see. Yeah, but I will get family members um, that will call me, and of course, I'm not like Christ said. Yeshua said, "A prophet is without honor in his own home." So um, maybe they think I'm intellectually compromised to the point where I don't know, but I'm someone who's willing to play dumb in order to get the best outcome. You know what I mean? And if that means protecting my loved ones, having to play dumb in order to do so, then that's what I'll do. There are those. Well, I'll digress from that. I won't say that comment, but basically, they will use your family as either a shield or as a coy in the situation. And we got to be wise. Sometimes I get upset and I go, you know what? The next time um, that happens, I'm going to let them feel uh, what the bottom of the bus is like. And then I have to say, uh, that wouldn't be the right thing to do because I know they wouldn't be able to survive what we go through and still be able to get up in the morning um, and move through the day, holding their head up. They just wouldn't be able to do it. They don't have that wherewithal or capacity. You guys, I'm actually going to get off and get my day started, but I wanted to, just come on and do a quick short in support of the guy Nappy. Also, you guys go check out that interview with Tony H. We will be connecting for part two. Um, Osiris, JJ, you guys email me so we can have some questions ready. And also, we're going to have Osiris, soon as we connect, coming on and blessing us with knowledge on how this human trafficking cartel is operating. We're going to expose these devils. We're going to uh, continue to tell the truth and shame them every chance we get. And let them know we're somebody, and they may not like us, but they will respect us. With that being said, um, let's see. It says I looked at the etymology the of a therapy. The rapist I have are invertebrates that have no good intentions on your well-being emotionally. Absolutely, man. They're rapists. That's all they do. I mean, they're sexual, deviant, sick, um, sadomasochistic um, beings. That's what we're dealing with. You know, these people, man, they're low lives. The things that I've gone through, being drugged, being poisoned, being beat, um, exploited in so many ways. And when I say exploited, even this job here, they human traffic us around, even on these jobs. After your name is flagged through the OSHA, uh, public-private partnership of business, every job you apply for is notified, and they're told either to hire you or not to hire you. In most cases, they already know where you're going to be working, and they basically set the entire game plan. So they're there because they know you're just trying to survive, and they will pre dedicate a particular job. Oh, go ahead and hire this person, and then we're going to treat them like crap and do all sorts of non-consensual things. And the little money that you make in order to just survive, they're making way more than that off you. And this is just the reality of things. We find it very difficult to find job stability. Um, and I, for one, find it very difficult not only to find job stability, but a job that isn't participating in my harassment. Workplace mobbing is a real thing. Look that up, and it's all part of this program built around um, the Hitler Nazi uh, agenda. How do you control someone? And there's various aspects of that. So yeah, we're in it. Free Nappy, man. That's what this is all about. Yeah, yeah, free Nappy. Free Nappy, man. There's no way Zimmerman should be out here free and Nappy's locked up. Nappy said something to the wrong person, apparently one of these gang stalkers, and he's locked up. George Zimmerman jumps on a kid, kills him on camera, uh, after stalking and harassing a kid who's going to the store to get a freaking sneaker, I believe, a Twix or whatever it was. And he's acquitted. He's on some island somewhere, living it up, drinking Mai Tais with his feet kicked up. We shouldn't accept this at all. This is repulsive to me, and I am urging everyone once again to flood the internet. create profiles. And if they delete one, create another. Use proxy servers, go to libraries, and we want to flood the internet ways and let this brother know he have our support because he's not in a battle. We're at war, and we got our brothers back, and that's just what that is. I got all of y'all back. That's where we at. Um, and I got to get out of here, you guys. And so that's just what that is. We're in these last days, man. You know, and a lot of these churches, a lot of these, and I don't have nothing against, Christians or Christianity or Muslims or anything. I myself, I identify as an Israelite. Um, you know, for those of you who wants to know, my faith, I identify as an Israelite. I'm not associated with any camps or congregation. I fellowship with the family of Christ, and that's the body of believers, regardless of, color or whatever it is. If we have um, common belief that we are in need of a savior, and our heavenly Father loved us enough to give us one, according to John chapter, um, you know, 3, then that's where we are. Some have not come into the faith. I do not um, kind of disown anyone or put anyone down, because I mean, we all at some point in time, we're still growing and learning and coming into the solidification as to who we are morally, spiritually, mentally, etc. I always say we have too much in common to let these small differences divide us. Those are tactics of the enemy: divide and conquer. Take small differences and highlight them, make them big. We'll read the Willie Lynch letters. That's psychological warfare that's still conducted today, even in this Gangstalking program. But my faith is that, you know, the laws of the Most High is written on the hearts of man, and that's our human instinct, our human nature to love our brothers, our sisters, as ourselves, to do what's right and what's fair. No one should have to tell you what's right and what's wrong. You know, I've owned pets in the past, and, you know, dogs and cats, they can do something wrong and they'll look and know. And I said, if animals have that instinct, surely humans, we should naturally have that. And it's written on our hearts, meaning on our emotions. Our emotions should be a guide as to what's right and what's wrong. Some people are heartless. Some people are soulless. Some people are not even human. Transhumanism is a real thing. It is a real thing. Some people are, for whatever reason, they can pull it up in their DNA and just show the genetic code don't allow it. I mean, we would call those psychopaths or whatever the case may be, or narcs. But the reality of it is they just don't have that human encoded um, law written on the tablets of their heart, because they're not the seed or the offspring of the Most High. That's what these scriptures are all about from the beginning to the end. In the book of Genesis, or the book of the beginnings, he create his physical son, Adam, in his image and his likeness, giving him his emotions. This is what made David so special. It's because he was a man after the Most High's own emotions. The way that David felt, he was an emotional person, and the Most High loved that about him, because he showed those humanistic emotions. If David loved, man, even if it was wrong, like when he fell in love with what was the lady's name, Beersheba, um, and so forth, but he was just, he was human. You know what I mean? Um, and the Most High loved that about him, because if David messed up his sorrow um, was real. You could hear it in his regret, and if he was rejoicing, you could hear it in his songs, his psalms. And the Most High knows that that's what's under attack. The empaths, those that have his DNA, his code, his emotions here in this life. The empaths are being attacked by the narcs, for those of you who want to be scientifically um, l- literary. Um, but that's pretty much what it is. You have people that don't care, heartless, soulless, demonic individuals attacking targeted individuals who are empaths, people who make an impactful change in their social environment by following their heart. With that being said, let's follow our heart. Let's support this brother. Let's flood the airways. It's more than one way to protest. We don't have to just fly out there to California. If you can, do so. If you can't, you know what I mean? Use the resources that you have at your disposal. You can make T-shirts and awareness. Bring awareness. Say this indignation, this injustice um, is unacceptable, and we demand um, freedom for our brother. We demand that his case be put in review and that he be acquitted of any false claims or false charges launched against him. We know we're constantly being set up for crimes. They was trying to lock me up for being an illegal immigrant working underneath a false name, and they still are running that crazy narrative. After they've stolen my birth certificate and social security card, and it took me years to get it back, they still try to run that narrative. And guess what? My civil suits have been suspended. The courts are in on it, and I should have gotten paid. They've had workers at jobs that I've worked at in the past, um, and they have participated in on it. Some I've named on, um, you know, my personal testimonials. But I don't let that keep me down, because what they done and continue to do was meant to destroy me. It was meant to make me hateful, resentful, um, and a demonic narc, just the way that they are. And I refuse to become that. Sometimes I do feel like anyone else would feel. I feel disgusted. You know what I mean? I want to knock them out if I could, you know. But then I take those emotions and I put them under check and control and go, that's not the best response. I'm going to kill them with kindness. I'm going to kill them like Christ said in the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 says, he's going to destroy them with the brightness, the brilliancy of his coming, meaning the way that he, he comes at them. It's going to be a chess move they cannot stop. It's going to be too brilliant. It's going to be too bright. It's going to be over their heads because they want to control the narrative. They won't control this one. The Most High has already authored and finished this story because he is the author and finisher of our faith. With that being said, you guys try to stay woke. If you're not woke, wake up so you too can be blessed. But your boy MTAC has got to get out into this wicked world of transhumanized, demonic, mark of the beast entities and make it happen. But be blessed.